Today's episode is brought to you by Harry's. Harry's.com. Visit it. Use the promo code Titus to save $5 off of your first purchase. Now, with the Armageddon update, Christopher Titus!
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. And I thought today I would come up with a solution for all the world's problems. After our weekly mass murder at a movie theater, at a damn Judd Apatow comedy, for God's sakes, isn't anything sacred? We finally get an Iran nuclear deal that we can verify, and the douchebag warhawks in Washington want to kill it. Trump is talking more shit than a drunk Courtney Love, and there's Russian bombers off the coast of Alaska. And then Kim Kardashian still has her opinions being listened to, while Caitlyn Jenner gets a hero award after she/he got a sex change and rear-ended and killed someone in a car accident on Pacific Coast Highway. Wow, if this is how we define a hero, then maybe Bill Cosby should get the next presidential mentoring prize. Now, I've done these updates for a few years, and my frustration never abates and never lessens because we never seem to change shit. The world just keeps doing the same horrible, evil, stupid things over and over. Then the pro-gun people yell at they need more guns, and the anti-gun people say a bunch of big words that make the pro-gun people feel stupider, which makes them ask for more guns. So what do? Just stay pissed? Nothing's getting done. Nothing's getting fixed. So how do we fix it? We don't. Instead, I say, get a dog. And if you don't want to do that, get 2 dogs. Here's the deal. When was the last time you were in a lawsuit with a dog? Or a dog put you on hold and never came back on the line? When was the last time a puppy sent soldiers into a foreign war where they had no plan to get them out? Never. That's when. When's the last time the news covered a border collie shooting up a movie theater or a German shepherd strapping a bomb to its body and blowing up a dog park because it didn't really see eye to eye with the Golden Labs and their bullshit Buddhism? Dogs are there when you show up, and they're stoked to see you. More happy than any human being has ever been to see me, and I'm almost famous. They don't lie, and the only thing they steal is your heart and a random chicken leg that you left on the coffee table, but hey, that was your fault. They'll sleep with you, even if you looked at your best friend's wife at the New Year's Eve party a little too long, you know? Yeah, they don't make you pay a price because you had a little too much Pinot Noir and she was wearing that dress. So I figured out that the holes in the world cannot be fixed, but these furry little idiots can put a little pure giving, unconditional loving on the gaping nightmare that this world currently infects us with. And all it costs is a couple of turds on the rug once in a while and someone that licks your face with breath that smells like a hobo's taint. You know, you've dealt with worse for a one-night stand, so kill the tumors. Get a dog. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. How is your summer going, people? With me, as always, to the right, to the right, to the right, Bombshell Rae.
What's up, people?
And way back in the distance is Fetus.
Hey!
Stay there. You haven't earned any closer to the mic yet. So
and sound a little more downtrodden, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you should be. We abuse you more than you sound. How can he be so damn optimistic all the time? Shut up. We got a beat on him.
Because he's 23. He hasn't lived in this world as long as we have.
And this world is sucky again. We had a shooting at a theater. You know, it's weird. When it happened, I actually said, please make it not be Trainwreck. Please make it not be Trainwreck. You know, all that time, every comic, being a comic, I don't have the schadenfreude that I used to have as a kid when I was a young comic. I wasn't like...
How would Hitler talk about schadenfreude?
I cannot believe everything horrible happened to you. I don't have any joy at all in that. Oh, does it feel bad that you failed horribly and I am better than you? I know it's horrible. I'm not enjoying this at all. That's Hitler. Enjoying the show. You're welcome. Why do you like me doing the Hitler so much?
Why do you like doing Hitler? Well,
I don't do it. You know what? Because I have a bad boy problem. That's why. So there's a shooting at a theater, and you know, comics work really hard for many years to get any shot. You know, I had my TV show, and everybody gets their shot. And when you get your shot, the last thing you want is some asshole to go into the theater during the movie that you wrote, starred in, and finally get your big break. And some guy shoots it. You don't want that, you don't want that on your little record. And I just felt bad. And then I thought, well, we've already done this podcast. How many times have we done like violent gun shooting podcasts?
Many.
Yeah, it's weekly now. Basically, we have got to a place, people, that there is a weekling shooting. By the way, a weekling shooting, by the way, number one. And they do it weekly.
Yes.
So anybody who's such a punk ass bitch that walks into any place, a public place, where people are going to watch a comedy, a Judd Apatow comedy, and takes out a gun, you're not a badass. You have no upside. You're just the biggest fucking loser ever. Walk into a Marine base and do it.
Somebody did.
I forgot that too. You're right. I forgot that too.
Or Fort Hood.
See, they went into Fort Hood. That guy got taken out quick. But there was a recruiting office that happened in office.
In Chattanooga.
Again, still not tough. Not tough. Guys aren't in yet. The guys aren't in yet. Who's in the recruiting office? A couple of guys. They wanted me to be a recruiter. I took the Marine test. I told you that, right? They did. I took the Marine test to go in the Marines. You know what they said? They said, we
don't so much need you in a uniform.
Yeah, they said, we don't want you with a weapon at all.
With a weapon.
But they said you have amazing verbal skills. By the way, you scored horrible on the geography portion also. We're not going to put you in charge of a plane or maps because you'll get us all killed. That being said... No,
I'm flying across New Mexico to get to Georgia from Texas.
That's right. Yeah. So they said because your verbal skills are so good, we would like to have you be a recruiter. And that's, by the way, just so any recruiters out there listening know, don't ever say that, because that's exactly what made me not join the Marines, because I said, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't want to be in charge of sucking other young, stupid minds into it. That being said, some of them, my cousin is in the service, and he's EOD, and he's badass. That being said, you Marines that have taken it, you guys aren't stupid. You guys are good. But I'll tell you what, when you first went in, you were stupid. They made you smart. So now we have shootings all the time. We've got, again, Caitlyn Jenner wins a Hero Award. And in this, it's weird because I didn't really pay attention to it, and then I started hearing some opinions, and then you said it. You goes, didn't he just kill somebody on PCH? And I thought, oh my God, that's right. He rear-ended somebody. You're a 3-year-old. Hey, didn't the guy who wants to be a guy, girl, rear-end somebody on PCH and killed him? Boom. You know why? Because he didn't go all the way.
Wrecked him.
Killed him. And my dad's favorite joke, again, is brought to life one more time. Thank you. Nice job. Fetus, you know that joke?
No.
You don't know the rectum killed him joke?
Oh, come on. This is a Papa Titus classic. This, other than which body part is the most important.
Yeah, my dad's two favorite jokes. Rectum killed him. I had a problem with my rectum. Rectum killed him. Okay, that was my dad.
It was nearly killed him.
Yeah, nearly. Yeah, rectum nearly killed him. Okay, so that was it. And then the other one is my dad. My dad loved this joke about all the body parts are arguing about who's the most important. The eyes are saying, "I see everything. I keep you guys from bumping into stuff. I am so much better. I run the body." And the ears are like, "Shut up, man." He goes, "I hear everything. Everything without me. You guys don't know if a train's coming without me. You don't know if you're going to get hit from behind. I am the most important." And then it was like, "I smell all the dangerous chemicals. I keep us alive." And then the asshole spoke up and went, "You guys, I'm in charge. I'm the most important." And they all burst out laughing. All the other body parts started laughing. So the asshole got offended and closed up. And about a day and a half, the eyes went hazy. The ears started ringing. The nose started running horribly. And it just goes to show, to be the most important guy in the room, you don't got to be nice. You just got to be an asshole. My dad thought that was the best joke in the world. My dad would be like, all you got to be is an asshole. And he continued to live that joke. So now my point is, see, you understand, right? Yeah, when you get drunk, because by the way, Fetus is going to play his Star Wars game in San Diego.
Is it Star Wars?
Yeah, it's
it sounds way gay when we say
I thought it was a flying thing.
Yeah, it's like you pilot starships.
From specifically related to. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's going to another tournament.
You don't need to yell out "nerd alert." I've
Yeah,
set
Nerd
out
Alert
a
doesn't-
lifetime
exactly.
signal.
We have a silent Nerd Alert that just goes off on everybody who's listening. They just hear you. I play X-Wing. It's a board game with Star Wars characters. And they go, yeah, well, to us you do. I don't sound nasal in my own head, but out here I'm like, hello, everybody. I'm Christopher Titus. I know I know in my head I sound cool. I sound like James Earl Jones in my head. Yeah. How's it going, everybody? Good talking to you. But out here, it's like, welcome to the Titus podcast. That's the Armageddon update. I know how I sound. So
You and Adam Carolla
Oh, my
together
God.
is brutal.
Oh my God! There's people that like. By the way, me and Adam Carolla in the same room, we just become Jewish. Adam, what do you want to do? I can't say it. So the world is coming apart, and again, I want to redefine the word hero. I guess Caitlyn Jenner redefined it, and again, I have no problem with the LBGT community. I really don't. I do believe.
What is it?
The LGTB, LB. Look, the STP people. Like when it comes to the FBI, I really
love
don't have a problem.
What I don't know what they're called. What?
Lesbian, gay, right? Lesbian, gay, transgender.
Oh, gee.
Transgender and LBG, lesbian, bisexual, gay, transsexual, LBGT.
LGBT.
That's what I said. So, the Libagetka people, just so you guys know, the guys that wrote Titus with me were gay. It's fine. It doesn't matter. What bothers me is that because here's my problem with it. My problem with it was you didn't get a sex change operation and feed Africa. You did not get a sex change operation and save 4 babies from a burning building. You didn't get new.
If this were the case, quite frankly, when I got my boobs, I should have gotten a
You're a
Heroes
hero.
Award.
Well, first of all, I've seen him. And you're a hero. You're my hero. Both of you.
Thank you. What? Oh,
point
that,
is-
me?
the
Not me? Oh.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Eyes up. Sorry.
Okay,
Eyes
yeah.
up. Got to remember eyes up.
Right.
So although I have nothing against, I'm glad that someone had first of all, did you have the guts really to do it? Great. It's an operation. It's harsh. You're giving your gender. You're switching your gender.
Are we still talking about me? Because it was. It was
No,
an
no.
operation. It was harsh. I was scared.
Yeah.
I was enhancing my gender.
Yeah, you were. Well, you didn't change your gender though.
So,
I'm
that's
just
what I
saying.
have to do to be a hero?
Yeah, to be a hero, you have to be not who you are. Sorry. So I am a hero. And I will always be a hero when I am not who I am. I am better than you. I am a hero. Yo, you have the boobs. It's great, but I have the better than you because I'm the hero.
Well, he would
Shouldn't.
probably argue that he is now being who he really is.
I'm just saying. I'm fine. Look, good for you. Good that you had the foresight to really at 60 years old to go balls out and go, sorry, man, I cannot. I'm not meaning to do this at all. Fetus is giggling like a 4-year-old. So, okay, that was part of the operation, wasn't it?
Yes.
Balls out.
That was actually the balls out
I'm
operation.
sorry. I didn't mean to do
Oh,
that.
what are you here for today?
Balls out. I'm going balls out today, baby. Tits up, balls out. Let's do this. You're a little too macho to actually getting this gender change. If you're talking like that, you have to change your whole thing. I just don't understand the hero label. There's been a ton of transgender people that had this operation. Why is he a hero? Again, it got him a TV show. It got him more. I'm sorry, Caitlyn. It got her. Wow, this is so weird. Got her more notoriety. But why are they a hero? I think we've really become very free with
I think
words.
you could still say he if you wanted to. You
Yeah, okay,
have.
but we
I mean,
become-
you've known him
I'm tired that
for
we're-
60 years as a him. I
Yeah,
get it.
I ate Wheaties out of his box. Boom. That's one of the jokes from. I used to eat Wheaties out of that dude's box. I'm just saying we've started to. Louis C.K. did a bit about it a while ago. He goes, it's amazing. Oh, it's hilarious. No, it's not hilarious. Someone go, hey, Bob, man, I saw this girl today. She was wearing a skirt up to here. And he goes, hilarious. And whatever he said. We've just started to define words. Just a lot of hyperbole, man. A hero is someone who put out a fire and saved a baby. A hero is a cop that actually, shot down a guy that was about to shoot 4 of the people in the bank today here. Oh, by the way, guys, while the podcast is going on, Bombshell got caught in a shooting over in Studio City.
I did.
Now, what was it like? What was it like? It's scary to see when they mobilize that it's not just a bunch of cop cars. All of a sudden, it is real serious military.
Everybody, yeah.
Right?
I thought when I finally got you, because I called you probably 6 times and texted you 3 times. And the
And I don't know what's going on, so I'm like calling her, where are you? We got a podcast to do. I'm yelling at her and saying, I'm in the middle of a shootout. Oh.
But it was, it was pretty freaky. It was amazing how quickly they can shut down a city.
Yeah.
And they shut down 2 of the busiest streets because Laurel goes over the hill and Ventura Boulevard on a Friday afternoon.
They basically shut down two total arteries that keep everything moving, and they did it on a Friday afternoon. Nice job. Nice job. You know what? By the way, let me tell all you people that are going to go shoot up a bank or shoot up a store or shoot up an ice cream parlor or shoot up a movie theater, can you please do it at a more convenient time? Don't do it on Friday afternoon. You're just screwing everybody at that point. On a Sunday. I do it on a Sunday, and don't do it at a comedy.
It's this one today actually still isn't clear. There was a dead body in the planter.
And they left it sitting there.
But the dead body was slumped over a flower planter next to a suspicious-looking briefcase, so mobilized bomb squad. Then a guy with a gun, I heard he was waving it around in Chipotle, and they killed him. You said they killed him in front of the bank. I don't know. I'm in the middle of it. They shut everything down, and there was a point where I couldn't get out. Because they gave you one outlet, and the cars were backed up so far and not moving that I couldn't leave.
Who the hell takes a gun and shows it in a Chipotle? Damn
I knew
it.
this one would get you.
I'm telling you, I'm at the end of my rope. That is the one place where you stand in a really long line, you get fresh, good food, and then some dickhead comes in. It's so over the top for me. So all this stuff's happening, on top of the shooting at the train wreck movie, and I'm just to the point where I'm tired of doing these podcasts about this news stuff that keeps repeating. You know how many shooting podcasts we've done now, Ray? Bombshell.
A lot.
We've done like 6 or 7.
More, I would bet.
And we're always doing it. And I thought, what makes me not go crazy? And I thought it's these 2 little dogs that we have. We have these 2 little idiots. And I was not a good dog guy when I met you. I was not a good dog. No, was I? And you had this. Okay, now I love Mac.
Don't.
I'm going to talk about Mac. We got to talk about Mac.
Don't.
Mac was okay. Mac, guys. Mac, when I met him, was 14, 13 or 14. So Mac was 13. He was blind in both eyes. He couldn't hear really well, but he got around. He did it.
He could hear.
He was still doing it.
He went blind when he was 3. He was 12 when you met him. He went blind when he was 3. I became seeing eye human, and he was. But honestly, like the dog trainer says, dogs, their first sense is smell.
Right.
Because their eyes are closed for a long time when
and
they're
he still
first
had.
born.
He thought he still did that
He
well.
smelled great. Then their next sense is hearing.
He never smelled great. Just so you know, I was around that dog. That dog never smelled great. His nose worked well, but he smelled horrible.
You're so mean. Anyway, that's how dogs relate to you primarily, is hearing and sense of smell. So, and that's how they get around. And so he would go, I would take him on the road in hotels, and he would walk the room slowly. And then he wouldn't run into stuff after that. It's pretty amazing.
Part of the reason that Bombshell even looked my way at all was when I first met her. Her dog used to hang out at her work all the time when I was working in the comedy club, and he let me pick him up.
He's blind, and it would scare him if people picked him up, and so he would bite a lot of people.
He was blind. It would scare him. That's something a mom says about their psycho kid. He was blind, and if you got near him, he would bite you.
Because he was blind. He was scared.
Yeah. Well, that happens to me on the road. Some blind guy walking down the street, and I get hit with the stick all the time. How you doing, sir? Whack! Hey! That's how that dog was. He didn't even wait to see what was going on. But Mac kind of made me like dogs again. I had my dog kind of taken away when I got divorced, and then Mac died. We went through a lot of stuff with it, and we paid our dues with Mac. He had glaucoma in his eyes. It's amazing what you'll do for dogs, and people go. My dad would never get it. My dad and I didn't really get it till Mac. I have to be honest. People go and they spend $10,000 or $4,000 or whatever on their dog at the vet, and people go, "That seems crazy. Why don't you just get a new dog?" Yeah, why don't you just get a new kid or a new mom or a new, because that's kind of what it's like.
There's people all the time at the shelters here in LA. I know because when I was looking for a chaplain, there are like 12-year-old, 13-year-old Yorkies because people just drop them off when they start having vet bills. The lady at the groomer that they go to had a King Charles that was 13 years old, and somebody just dropped it off and said, I don't want her anymore.
So assholes just drop their old dog off to get a new one?
That lived with them their whole lives so they could get a puppy.
That's like abandoning a car and burning it out in Brooklyn and then just leaving it.
So much worse than that.
Yeah, you're right, because it's a living thing.
Yeah.
And it loved you for 12 years. That's the whole thing, is that I get it. So I got it with Mac, and then Mac... So we found out that Mac had been blind, but he had glaucoma really bad on top of being blind. So part of him being psychotic was he had an ice cream headache all the time. When the doctor said that to me, you were like, oh, my God. And so we replaced his eyes. That's right, people. I have financed the replacement of eyes in a 13-year-old dog. Not the worst investment I ever made, but definitely not the best. But he was happy after that. Remember how much different he was?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't realize the dog was living with an ice cream headache. Ugh. But you loved him. You loved him.
I did.
And you flipped the car 5 times, and he basically was launched out of that car.
Yes.
He was a pretty resilient little bastard.
I don't know if people know this story, but I'm going to tell this. This is why, more so than him letting you pick him up, why I decided you were okay. Because, the first 10, 20, 30, 40 times you're around you're not sure 50, 70 times. You just don't know. It could go either way, like 80 or 90. You got to be with you at least 100 times or so. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it could go either way.
What, Fetus, you feel like that?
Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're just around him like 120 times, maybe by that point, you know that he's all right. But the first 100, maybe 200 times you're with him, you're not sure. Yeah.
Well, how did it go from 20 times to 200 times?
No, I think we always said 250.
Oh, my God. You guys are idiots.
So, but I was worried.
You should not agree with her too often. I need an apology. Wow, he's sticking to his guns. Wow. And Fetus stays silent. Fetus stuck his ground.
He spoke at the beginning, though.
I know.
I thought he was going to say, sorry.
Yeah, but he didn't. I was hoping for the sorry. It was just a random sorry.
So, no, nothing. He's shaking his head with his arms crossed.
She's right. I agree.
He's scared. That's why he hasn't been with you the 275 times that it takes to get to know you and appreciate you.
So let's just say the woman who professes her love for me thinks I'm an asshole.
No, because I've
Just
been around
for the first
you.
200 times.
I know I got through the first 300 times. And
you said 200 times.
So I'm in Reno. I'm opening a comedy club in Reno. I used to run comedy. Let's just skip right past all of your opinions about everything and let's just get to the point.
Let's talk about the real story.
Let me just get to it. So I'm there. I'm hiring and training staff. I'm sitting on a casino floor. I have been in Reno, and it's a freaking nightmare, which is what you want to say. But it was a nightmare. It was a joke. I hated it. And Reno's an awful place anyway. I mean, it's awful. It's where Vegas goes to shit itself and then die. It's awful. And I was there for, 2 months?
Right.
Okay. And I'm in a hotel room that I think we've told the story about the hotel room before, where when my key card doesn't work, like the 7th time the guy comes up, he brings a sledgehammer, breaks the door open, and then tells me I'm welcome and leaves. And the door won't shut or lock anymore.
Right.
So that's where I was staying. So I'm sitting on the casino floor. I am disheartened. I'm tired. I hate my life. I hate my job. I'm lonely. I had to leave my blind dog, who's 12 years old, in Louisiana. And I'm looking across the casino floor, and I see a girl that looks exactly like my best friend at the time. And I think, wow, I'm really seeing things. I'm this lonely, right? And I keep looking at this girl. She's coming closer, and she's coming, and I'm training these people, and I'm just like, holy crap, that's Jen. And this girl starts waving, and I stand up and leave the people sitting there, and I was so desperate, and I ran across to her, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, she ran a club for me in Louisiana, so I'm like, why are you here?
She was your right-hand man for a while.
Yeah. And she has a bag, and she's like, I have Mac in the bag. And she had flown Mac out to me because you had called her the night before and said, I'm buying you a plane ticket. I'm buying the dog a plane ticket. I need you to fly to Reno and go and see Ray. And you did. You sent my blind dog to me.
with a human, with a seeing eye human.
Because you heard how sad I was.
Oh yeah, you were literally.
You hung up the phone with me and you decided to send me my blind dog.
Because I am a badass.
Yes.
You know, it's one of those things you do as a dude that you can, like, literally, there's some things, that probably bought me I get a bitch slapped you a couple times, right? You know.
I think you did.
I never in a million years. And one of the first 300 times you met me.
Like probably 350 times, I
Never
think.
in a million years, man. A million years.
You,
I'm so scared.
yeah.
Your family, between your brother and your two fathers, man, if I ever touched you, my God, I would just be meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have no, but that's the only reason I'm scared. That's the only reason I want to hit you all the time, right?
What?
No, I just heard.
I want to hit you too.
I know.
Like,
I love you so much. See, that's why we're close. So the dog was a trip, and he ended up going down of cancer. He ended up getting cancer, which we fought too. That was another chunk of money, and we fought it. And he lasted to what, 15 something?
15 and a half.
15 and a half. So then, guys, here's the thing about dogs. If you don't have a dog, I want you to listen to this podcast clearly. When you have a dog, before you have one, it's just a pain in the ass. You're like, oh, my God, I'm going to have to pick up after it. I'm going to have to, clean its bowl. I'm going to have to, put new food in it. It's going to have to have to wash it, blah, blah, blah. There's a million things you got to do with a dog. Here's what you don't get. There's nothing I have seen in the world that is just so joyous to see you, to hang out with you, to be your buddy, to do anything you want it to do, and it just loves you 100%, and it's so worth it. If you told me that what would it cost? What would you pay for Bombshell to love you 100% of the time, never get mad, roll over and let you see her belly, and so you could rub her belly whenever, and she hugged you and loved you and kissed you all day long? I would easily pay $1 million a year for that. I think I do. The point is,
you're so stupid.
You're stupid. You're stupider.
You keep saying the word stupider. You said it in the Armageddon update, and the irony of that is that it's not a word.
I know it's a double joke. I joked the joke with it.
I don't believe you.
Stupidier. Stupidest.
Yes.
Yeah, you're the stupidest.
These dogs.
Then I win.
I have.
I want to get to the story. So here's
which story?
I was going to tell something. So here's what happens. So Mac is gone. Now Mac, at the time, we had spent all this money saving Mac, and Mac died, and it was sad, and it was a lot of money. And at one point, I was kind of like, and it was always it was. And me too. The eyes. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you did his eyes.
I'm sorry. I did. I got his eyes done. We
came
joked
to
about
LA.
that. I came to LA, got his eyes done. So what I said was, let's don't have a dog for a while. Let's just try. It's easier to travel because we travel them everywhere, which is always great. It's always great to smuggle him into a hotel or smuggle him into, it's always great. And people are like, what's that smell? Oh, that's me. Sorry.
He stinks very much.
Yeah, your boyfriend is very smelly. I'm sorry.
So
about 3 months after Mac dies, Bombshell, we're driving around in the car, people, and you people who've had animals that you've lost after a long time know what this feels like. She would just burst into tears randomly. Now, as a man, all we want to do is fix it. A dumb guy, broken, must fix. Something broken, fix it. So I decide that she can have another dog. And then that's how we got Chaplin. We took Chaplin out of the hood.
You decided. You sound very manly and in charge.
I was scared. No, I did I was like, oh my God.
I decide.
We will have I decree that we shall have another animal, and we shall love it, and it shall love us. By here be and bear said forward on this day, we shall have a dog.
Pedro. Yeah.
So we went down the hood, Downey or somewhere, right? Got him.
I don't remember. I had not lived here very long at that point, or I didn't know my way around.
That dude was a hardcore Mexican, but
he was gay, but he was hardcore cholo, tattooed up to his chin. So nice. I love this guy. But he and his partner had a Chihuahua and a couple Yorkies, and so they got busy, the Yorkies and the Chihuahua. The Yorkie male actually infected. What's it called? Impregnated the Chihuahua and the Yorkie.
Ugh.
And so anyway, they had these puppies, and I don't know. He sort of found me. I didn't find him.
They had Chihuahuas? Is that what happens when you do a Chihuahua? Is it Chihuahua?
Chihuahuas.
Or Chihuahuas? I like Chihuahuas better. What are they? Chihuahuas. Which sounds like your mama, which is nice.
So, but I know that we were in your Z06 Corvette, and I had told you, I don't know how it happened, but this dog found me. This guy out of nowhere just started sending me pictures, and it was him. I knew it. I mean, I was like, yes, because there were 3 puppies in the picture. 2 of them, his brother and sister, were half asleep and half the size and looking up at the sky. And Chaplin was twice as big and gritting his teeth and just staring into the camera.
That's what I liked about him. I was like, this dog doesn't matter. He's looking right into the camera like, what? And we picked him up, and he was the size of my hand, and he's cool. Now we've had this dog 5 years. He's amazing. And I said, that's it. We got a dog. Yay. Well, then here's the problem.
I just remember you wanting to turn around wherever we were. That's what I was going to say. Because we were in the hood, and I remember you saying, no, you don't fucking understand. This is where they film Boys in the Hood. We're getting out of here. We're getting out of here. And because of your car, you didn't want to be in the hood.
Yeah,
in your car.
I was driving a Z06 Corvette. And I thought, and by the way, I remember saying all that stuff, and as you say it to me now, man, am I a little bitch. Man, am I just a little tiny weenie. You don't understand what neighborhood we're in.
I'll get my Yorkie in a nicer neighborhood.
I'm such a punk. Everybody, I've been outed. I need to get it. I'm going to join the LGTB community.
The liquor bit.
Yeah, the liquor bit. Well, now we have 2 dogs. Now that's the problem I have. And
he just looked at you like, what? Because they're in here with us right now.
So tell me something about dogs. Here's what I want to know.
What?
Because I'm in now. Love the
you're
dogs.
full blown.
They're great. They
If you
snuggle with me in bed.
ever talk smack on this podcast, I will post pictures.
No, you won't.
You
are not going to post pictures of the dog snuggle up around my neck in the morning. You're not. Or me spooning the little one. No, you're not. You will not post those pictures because they don't exist. They've been falsified and photoshopped, and you will never post a weenie picture of me snuggling 2 furry Yorkies.
With an eye mask.
Shut up. Shut up. I never wear eye masks.
They love you.
I can keep my eyes closed and the sun blazing on me.
Because you're a man.
That's right. And
Clint Eastwood, you sleep with your eyes wide open.
Right, yeah.
In the sun.
And yet they look like they're closed because I'm Clint Eastwood. But I have to moisturize. Damn it. So what do you get from the dogs? Tell me why. Just tell me why with Mac. What? I mean, what do you get from it? That's the whole point of this is the world is a screwed up place. Why are the dogs?
What do I get from it? I get, I am never, ever, ever alone, no matter what. Always have little beings with me. They are always incredibly interested in everything I am doing. So it's not like living with people where you're in a house and you don't see that person for 5 hours because they're doing their thing or whatever. They're always by my side. Everyone always jokes when I walk around our house that I have 2 little ducklings that just behind me everywhere I go.
Yeah, it is a little weird. I have moments of jealousy. Because they like you so much. And I'm like, what do you guys want to do?
Oh, not of me liking them, but you're jealous.
Yeah, they like me now. Well, the weird thing is I'll go, hey, guys, and they'll stop and they'll look, and then you'll keep walking the other way, and they're like, we're with her, buddy. And then like, oh, okay.
It's just peace. I can remember when I was training for my first fitness show, I was doing figure division, and I was depleted, obviously. I mean, this sounds really, kind of bougie, but I had busted my ass for 3 months, and I was carb depleted. I was water depleted. It was the day of the show, and I had gone there, and it wasn't what I thought it was, and I was just like really disheartened. Probably most of that had to do with carbs. And we got to go home for like 2 hours in between because there's a morning call out and a night show. And so all I could think about was getting out of that place that was so freaking awful and hard and horrible and going home and just being with Mac. Just being. And I remember going home and I had like an hour and a half and I just laid on the bed and he laid right next to me and every bit of tension just released from my body. It was just like...
I remember that too. You were in the best shape of your life, laying next to your little dog in a tiny little bikini. And I did some things in the bathroom I'm not proud
of. My gosh. You're in... Probably because of the dog. Sounds like you really love these dogs.
I do love these dogs now. They're just so guys. Get a dog. I haven't been. I will say this: that when we had Mac and the divorce was raging and it was the worst time, and Chaplin too. Chaplin after Mac was gone, we got Chaplin. There was days when the divorce was taking me so far down. I mean, so far down. Like, you saw me curled up a couple of times with no eye mask on, just not believing that this was going. Wasn't seeing my kids, and it didn't matter. Chaplain would always come over and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" And it's just, I really get it now about dogs. So people, if your life is down, if your life is depressed, stop making it about you and get a dog. And then here's what you can do. You got to take care of something. And like a lot of times in the world, we take care of our families or we take care of people that we know and our friends. And they really, after a while, don't appreciate it anymore. They don't, right? The dog is always like, "What are you doing? What are we doing? Where are we going? How can I go with you?" And if you want to,
they always are just as excited when you give them a treat or a toy or food.
They're also so stupid that you leave for 5 minutes. It's the same exact reaction as you leave for 5 hours.
The other night, you and I were talking.
Right.
Chaplain was right behind me. We walked out of the front door. We didn't even close it all the way. We just pulled it. I think we were putting the garbage out or something really domestic.
Right.
We walked right back in. He was still sitting there, and he lost his shit.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, you're home." Hey, dude, we literally didn't shut the door, you idiot. But that's what's great about him. It's like they're lovable idiots. And so here's what I'm going to say. The world is tore up, because I was thinking how I deal with it when all this stuff started happening in the news, and it's been happening since 2007 now that I can remember. It just seems like we've been through a time. The shooting thing is really is grinding me down. Yeah. It's grinding me down now. We have innocent people being killed, and nobody has the nutsack to step up and go, "Hey, why don't we do what some of the other countries did, and maybe not outlaw the guns, but make it a lot harder."
It's ramping up now.
Yeah,
it's ramping up. And I'll say this to every single person that's listening to me say that and starts pulling out your dusty files of statistics of how there were this many shootings in this year and this many. It's bullshit. Here's what I know. I know, for example, that today I had a brief moment where I feared for my life. Just a brief moment where cops were walking around with assault rifles and screaming at me to get out, get out, get out. Like, it was not a good...
Are you serious?
Yes. Last 2 Sundays ago, I was sitting in church with my mom, and I looked up in the balcony. There was one dude sitting there by himself, loner, looked angry, arms crossed, wasn't singing, wasn't like anything. He
wasn't throwing up the praises to the Jesus.
Wasn't anything. Just and looked really angry. And I had this thought instantly, like, okay, all right, you got to keep your eye on him. Like, this guy could. And I'm sitting there thinking how vulnerable I am because I'm in one of the shooting locations du jour.
Right.
I'm sitting in church, and so it's
this is after Charleston too.
This was, about a week after Charleston. So I'm just saying, like, I'll keep all of your statistics. I know human beings are built with instinct for a reason. We got to use it a lot more, but it's when you sensed something like dogs do, you knew that you needed to retreat or chase after it or whatever. And my instinct tells me something is very wrong. And I'm walking into these public places and I'm having fear. I'm looking around. Right. And so it's bullshit. So tell me there's no problem. Tell me.
Well, the other thing, so here was a response today to it. I posted something. I said on Twitter, I said something to the effect of like, I go, wow, our weekly shooting happened on a Thursday. I go, I really hate it when it messes up the end of the week, blah, whatever I said on Twitter. It's pretty funny. I'm a genius. Let's move on. But what happens is the guy goes, "Hey, man, hammers kill people too. You want to outlaw hammers?" And I want to go, you need to get hit with a hammer, dude, because that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Hammers build houses. Hammers fix car fenders. Hammers are a tool that you use. Guns are for one thing and one thing only. One thing and one thing only. And by making a dangerous weapon, and someone else tweeted back, it says in the Constitution, reasonable limits on it, and then we don't have that anymore.
Somebody tweeted and you retweeted, I saw it earlier, they said, the argument is that, guns don't kill people, people kill people.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure if that guy hadn't had a gun in that theater, that 3 people would be alive today.
Yeah. Yeah, the gun people are starting to lose the argument because they don't have an argument.
I'm a gun people. I was a gun people.
You're a gun people. Your brother's a gun people.
My brother's
your
a massive gun. All my family gun people own guns.
Right,
we all love
Yeah.
But now I am intelligent enough to recognize that there's a problem.
Hold on, time out. Wait. Are you saying that you see a problem and have changed your opinion about gun laws based on the carnage they've caused?
Yeah.
Wait,
Because
what about the Constitution?
here's the well,
What about the Second Amendment?
Well, the Constitution has been changed numerous times. I think we all know that.
Mm-hmm.
And just as, any religion would argue that you take something that was written during a time, it
No,
doesn't
we need to
necessarily mean that we need to have eunuchs serve us and cut their
or
penis off or
snip
whatever.
off the clitorises of women when they're 14.
It's according to the time, and you just have use your brain a little bit. You
Did you know
think
that?
about how
Did you
the
know, Phineas?
world.
Oh,
You think about how
Did
the
you-
world is evolving, and if you don't look at it, if you don't look at the fact that children got sawed in half by automatic weapons at Newtown, like if that doesn't make you think, okay, because laws aren't made because of the good person.
Right.
If I thought about me and then argued based on how I'm going to be, no, you make laws to keep the bad people in check.
Right.
Granted, they're still going to break laws, but what? So you're just not going to try? We're just going to let it be a free for all? I don't.
Yes, that's exactly. That's the Second Amendment. Second Amendment. Second
don't get
Amendment.
it.
Second
I
Amendment.
know
Second
I'm
Amendment,
making
Second
people
Amendment, Second
furious.
Amendment. It's the
care.
Second Amendment argument.
But people are dying. Innocent people are dying.
They're dying at
That
Judd
also-
Apatow comedies.
It's what that guy said in Santa Barbara. What about his right to live?
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, people, go to my YouTube channel, Christopher Titus TV on YouTube. Check out Arm the Children video we shot. It's really funny, and it says a little point to it. To all you gun people out there that are gonna start hitting me on Facebook and blah blahing on my own website, don't bother. I've argued with you guys enough, and I've won every argument, so just shut up. You don't win. You're going to tell me the same shit you always tell me. It's fine. It is time as a society to face the fact that we have a fucking problem. And until we get this problem fixed, your arguments are empty bullshit and have fucking blood on them. I need a joke there, and I don't have one.
Slam.
Did you hear? Did you literally? Someone just pulled the emergency brake on the whole podcast.
It's like, of course, I'm going to
I'm
get.
just getting mad. I'm
like
starting to
everybody
get
that wants to
frustrated.
write me right now, just save it because I just mentally edit it anyway in my brain. Because most of those from those people,
there's a
I
lot of
get
people that
are
have been-
really misspelled in bad grammar, and it drives me crazy. But
Yeah,
I
you
got it.
spell like they were
I
educated
got
on
it.
Craigslist.
I'm a cunt. I'm a bitch. I'm a woman, so I must be stupid. I shouldn't be giving my opinion. I got it. I've
and you're
heard
not
it all.
smart. You're liberal. You're not
Oh
smart.
no! Yeah. I'm liberal now,
From
which
this-
actually I'm not.
Not at all.
And again, I'm not saying no guns. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying time to reevaluate and get together and
Time
think.
to make it a lot harder to
Something,
get guns.
anything.
And here's my other argument. To you people out there that have guns and are good people and get pissed off at this argument and start giving me, why don't we outlaw hammers too? We're not talking about you. We're actually, if you have a clean criminal record, you have decent credit, you have a great family, you take your kids out, you live in the woods.
This guy in
you
Louisiana
teach
had to
them-
obtain that gun legally.
Well, I'm saying the level that the bar is so low to get a gun right now. It's a waiting period. There's no psych eval. In Australia, they do a psych eval. They actually sit you down and
In Louisiana, you can go and get your concealed carry. I
Right.
did just by filling out and showing your driver's license. You don't have
you
to.
got a concealed carry permit. You
concealed. Yeah.
got by doing what?
I walked into the sheriff's department in the courthouse, and I showed my driver's license. I signed a little white card thing, and they gave
How
me
old were you?
25. I was running
Fetus, how
comedy
long-
clubs
go
and
ahead,
leaving
you
at
can
night.
use the mic for a second.
Oh, he's got to turn it on.
It took my dad about 6-7 months to get his conceal and carry, and he was a cop for several years, and he had recommendations from a lawyer and a former chief justice of New York.
And it took
that's
7
New York.
It
months.
took like 7 months, yeah.
Wow.
So New York it's very, very difficult to get a conceal and carry. And here, I guess it's impossible, right?
Yeah, California's pretty rough. Well, they changed the laws a couple years ago, but guys, look, I'm not even talking about. I'm trying to shut down the sales of guns. I'm saying that we need to have a much more probing system, reasonable, who's a fucking asshole, who has any history of anything. That you just went in as 24 years old. Do you know how many 24-year-olds I don't trust with a car? I don't trust him with a car. I can't ride with Fetus. Fetus makes me. Fetus
Yeah,
gonna
but
get us all killed.
24-year-old girls are way different than 24-year-old guys.
Yeah, they're slow and they can't drive at all.
I was
They're
running
the worst drivers.
6 comedy clubs.
But you couldn't drive.
I drive brilliantly.
Yeah, you're actually pretty good.
I think it's kind of like that whole.
Fetus is shaking his head vigorously that you don't drive very
He's
well.
never been in the car with me.
No, I'm shaking my head that you dissed my driving.
Oh, well, hold on to that because all I got to do is put anyone else in the car and let you, and then they'll be like, then I get back up. So your driving is not. Come on.
I'm safe.
I'll just say this.
Right there. By the way, everyone who's listening who knows me, he said, I'm safe.
My 82-year-old grandmother actually said...
What did she say?
I think he drives quite well. That's what she told me. She
There
said, he
you
is
go.
a good driver. No.
You're nodding like it's like a Hufflepuff would nod. You're nodding like that's a good thing. An 82-year-old woman who likes to go 4 miles an hour said you're a good driver.
I don't care.
And that's what she say, too. I don't care. I like that, Ryan. That fetus is good.
They call him Fetus. My grandma and my mom call him Fetus because they don't know his real name anymore. They forgot it.
Weird that they remembered Fetus, though. I love that they can't remember Ryan.
I think like this gun thing, it's kind of like any decision that people make because they want to have things the way that they want to have them and they don't want to think about the impact. For example, cigarettes. Cigarettes are healthy. Cigarettes are minty. Cigarettes make you beautiful. Cigarettes make you more
live
vibrant,
longer,
live
more
longer,
vibrant,
right?
You're cooler.
So it always takes an incubation period for those decisions to fester and then manifest themselves
and then the
in
next
a future.
commercial is a woman with a hole in her throat
Exactly.
talking through it. That's really great.
So I would say now that we're at it has manifested itself. That decision, people stood so strongly, stringently. They were violent about my rights. And now you're looking at the manifestation of that decision. You're looking at, I mean, how many dead people, dead kids, dead innocent people.
I would say this. If it was around the world, if our numbers were comparable to around the world, I'd be like, you know what? That's just how it is. The problem we have is that our numbers are 11,000 to 18,000 a year dead by gun violence, and Norway's is like 3. England is 5.
I'm yawning.
Japan is 2.
I'm yawning because the dogs are yawning.
Oh, really? And I'm talking. That's
But
why.
this is our
Let's just
whole
be
point.
honest. You're yawning.
No, I just looked at Abbott and he yawned. This is your whole point. We're talking about dead children and dead, and he goes.
And the dog goes. And then he actually takes his nose and hits a ball toward you. And I guess I got to play with the ball now because the dog's making me play with the ball. And I forgot about the dead children. Again, good point. All right, guys. Didn't mean to turn to a gun thing. I will say this. We are getting to a place in this world where even the people, the hardest core gun guys in the world have got to face that something has got to change. And again, don't want to take your guns away. You people that are responsible, good people, don't want to take your guns away. Want to make sure that any dumb shit who actually is violent and it has a gun, to the point where who was the guy that was saying, oh man, that Confederate flag thing, man. We have crazies. If you have a hint of crazy, we should come with a crazy barometer.
Well, I said this many podcasts ago, and it's probably fallen off now. People haven't heard it. But my recommendation is that anyone that wants a gun has to have 10 people vouch for them. 10 people.
And
10 friends. Just 10 friends.
And the question is, do you think Steve would be okay with a gun?
10 friends. He just has to come up with 10 people that will just say, yep.
Yeah, I know that dude. He would never use a gun
Because
on anything.
every one of these loner people
Yeah.
that are coming
Couldn't
in
have
and
got 10 people.
Nope.
Couldn't have got 10 people. That's such a great thing. You need 10 references that actually say you are totally responsible with a gun. And I know right now, people listening, that scares half of you. Because I don't know if I could get 10. I couldn't get one person to say I'd be good with a gun, could I?
No, probably not.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah.
You say he's okay? Really?
Yeah, he knows. He's been around me 100 times now.
375.
No. It's been 6 or 7 months now, right? So 7 months. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm over 100 days with him. You got to spend 100 days with Titus.
It
to
can
be able to,
your mom, your dad. Those can count because a lot of these people, they knew their
parents
kids were.
would.
Yeah,
Their parents would have said no.
Yeah, because you don't have to do it in front of. You can go in at any time, be interviewed. They'll never know who said what. They'll never know who said no. But 10 people.
So you put 10 people down. Basically, you drop your paperwork off.
I'm Rachel Bradley. Please vote for me.
Instead of a 10-day waiting period, you basically have a 10-person waiting period. Once they call all 10 people, get them on the phone, or
I say they have to come in person.
Yeah.
And then if they say no and they reject the gun, then they won't have a gun to kill the people who rejected them.
There you go. See?
10 people.
Yeah.
At any time, once you submit your application, they can drop into this office. There's offices all over. Drop in, takes 5 minutes.
And by the way, these 10 people have to actually go to the office. You cut your pool down quite a bit. Then if you want to find, I'm not going to some office to say you should have a gun. And you go, you'd have to really believe in that person. That makes a lot of sense.
To own a gun, I think that people should believe in you.
Right now, in houses across this country listening to this podcast, people are slamming shit against the wall going, that's bullshit. Thanks Bombshell Rae for that, and let's move on.
And now,
Harry's was nice enough to sponsor this episode again today.
Again, I'm good. I like the Harry's is, I got to tell
Harry's came out with a full BAM in July. They were like, I've decided I think they should change their name to Taint Harry's. Taint Harry. Once you use this product,
Taint Harry. Taint Harry. Harrys.com. Taint Harry.
You're welcome, by the way, for that gem, Harry's. I don't even know, do they listen to these?
You got the word taint in it, which is great.
Which makes it brilliant. Because why do you need a razor?
Taint.
See?
You got a hairy taint.
And then Taint Harry.
Now it's Taint Harry.
So if you go to harrys.com, HARRYS.com, you guys know you can get $5 off your first order with promo code Titus. And we're supposed to, turn on your mic, little squeaky.
Yeah, little squeaky. I like little squeaky now. That's a good nickname.
My razor has arrived.
It has arrived.
Yes.
How much did you pay total?
$10.
$10.
Why did you wait? It's $15. Pray tell me why? How did you get the $5 off?
I used promo code Titus when I checked out.
And
so $10. Tell us.
Well, then
about
you had
it.
to pay shipping, right?
There was no shipping costs.
Wait, $10 total? You got razors with 3 blades and a whole little setup thing?
And I even got the whole the stuff with the gel.
The gel.
Yeah.
Oh, did you pick gel?
I did pick gel.
Because I said gel.
I like gel better than cream.
Oh, who doesn't? What?
Well,
All right. So how was it?
I haven't shaved yet.
All right. So,
okay, let's talk about the presentation.
The presentation, A+.
Okay.
And it was
like gift level. Like
gift
you could,
level.
Like if you could for $10,
I literally could take this box and I could just give it to somebody.
Hence the word gift.
Yeah.
But I always say that extra gift. At Christmas you need that. You need
Yeah.
that. You need that one. You need to have a bonus gift sitting in the car.
Right, that you're
Because that
ready.
one stupid
Any
ass
moment.
relative shows up. Yeah, I just flew in from the Bahamas, man. Didn't know I was even going to come for Christmas. What are you guys doing? And everyone goes, and then you go, boom, I got you something.
For $10, you get something that looks like you spent $50.
Yeah, or 30, 40.
Depending on if you went with the $15 option or the upper option.
Yeah. Well,
No,
also,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and the razor's kind of cool. I mean, did you get the chrome one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I think it's so cool, and I think also that you and I are always fans of cutting out the middleman, in everything that we do. But
Yeah.
I like this because it's just you and Harry's. You're not going to the drugstore and waiting forever and spending $5,000. I feel like now you
Or
have
getting
to.
the guy to unlock the razors.
Right, yeah,
That's a blast.
yeah.
Like, what, did you guys
pain.
have a big razor theft? What?
I
No,
think
that's
you have to-
why that's the huge issue. People were shoplifting. Razors were the number one most shoplifted thing for several months, like last year.
because they're so expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But-
they're not Harrys.com, guys. All right, we have now. Go ahead. Finish your ad. Finish your whoring the product.
The product. Well, I've already done my pitch for
Yes, we have.
Taint Harry's. But anyway, whole month worth of shaving for $10. That's all I was gonna say. Because you spend $5,000 on regular razors at wherever you get them from. If you don't get them from Harry's. I petered out. Let's
And
move on.
now, from sea to shining sea, coast to coast, continent to continent, and sometimes space, it's Bombshell Rae with a bombshell.
A specter is haunting Portland. The specter of dildos.
What is going on?
According to Reuters, hundreds of phallic sex toys have recently started appearing on Portland city power lines, prompting numerous complaints to the city.
Do you
And
know how hard it is to get a dildo on a power line?
they have string. They're sort of lassoed? Like
So they put them together, put two of them together, like
yeah,
shoes?
nunchucks.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Nunchucks, right? They get them and then it
Nutchucks.
Nutchucks. They get them on
Right.
the wire and they're all different colors and they are all over the city. Now I saw this news story and I thought it was the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah, our buddy, the most man, moved to Portland, and he's had some problem with the city on this new bar he's trying to open. And I thought, okay, he basically, my buddy, the most interesting man in the world, will do crazy things and they're the weirdest like pranks in the world. So we instantly thought, "Oh, this is our buddy." Now he had pictures. He did have about 100 pictures of him, but he swears it wasn't him. I still don't believe that. So he's having a problem with the city inspector, so he decided to just throw dildos up on power lines.
Most people don't remember his visit on the podcast, but he talked about how a neighbor pissed him off.
A neighbor had they were having a party on a Saturday. It wasn't even a bad day. She was trying to sell her house. They had a bunch of dudes out there just drinking beer, not being crazy. They're cool dudes. They're not crazy guys. And she called the cops on them. Cops showed up, and this may be what that movie Neighbors was actually based on, because I thought about it later. I thought, did someone tell this story to these guys? So basically what he did was he went over to talk to the woman. The woman was you will not do that shit. I'm trying to sell my house. So the next day what Rick did is he went and he bought a dumpster. And he got a permit to put a dumpster, had the dumpster drop directly in front of her house. Then he filled it with 500 pounds of steer manure, which is the smelliest manure in the world. Then they bought 100 cinder blocks delivered, stacked next to the dumpster. And during the open house she had for her house, him and his buddies went and tossed cinder blocks into the big metal dumpster. Bang! And it smelled like a cow shit, and it was noisy, and they didn't sell the house. And here's how bad it was. The mayor actually showed up at his house 3 days later and asked him to please stop. Look, man, I know she's a bitch. Could you please stop?
And that's why we thought this was him.
Yeah. This guy invested money to destroy this woman's life.
Yes. Which he does. That's what he does,
He has
actually.
no problem.
You were driving around for a while with a gay and proud sticker on your car.
Didn't know. The man put a gay and proud sticker on my car one day, drove around for a couple weeks with it. And you know what? I was popular.
You were.
Finally, I
you
felt
were
different.
So Actually, I found you
Looks like we've made it.
On a gay blog where a guy posted about you. He ran into you in a Starbucks, and he was talking about your crystal blue eyes and how dreamy you were.
Yeah. Well, I like that. I get that.
He's part of the
LGTBS. Yeah, the CBS people.
Community.
LGTB? Is that right? LBGT? How's it go? How you LGTB? LGBT. All right. Fetus is just miming in the back. Yes, no. LGBT?
BLT.
Yeah. I like BLTs a lot. It's a big sandwich.
I don't know what the G would be.
Which is, by the way, what Caitlyn Jenner is called all the time. It's a big sandwich. That's a new nickname. You are a big sandwich, girl.
That's what Willie would have called her.
Yeah, he would.
Yo, baby, you a big sandwich.
In Russia, women are competing to be bitten by mosquitoes.
What?
The town in Russia, Berezhniki, it's gearing up for
Betty Sneaky? The town is named Betty Sneaky? That's great. What? Welcome to Betty Sneaky. What? No, don't look around. We're fine. There is no one behind you. In Betty Sneaky, we have a population. Don't worry about it. Betty Sneaky.
They have a 3-day Russian mosquito festival.
We don't know where your purse went. What? You never had a purse. Welcome to Betty Sneaky.
They have a contest for the most delicious girl, in which shorts or dress-clad women compete to see who can attract the most mosquito bites in 20 minutes or less.
What a weird...
A previous winner racked up more than 100 bites as determined by a set of judges that include a doctor and the festival's organizer. I was hoping that was going to say EMT, CDC official. No. And they say that those girls that have the best luck eat well, don't drink, and don't smoke.
And after this festival, die of malaria more readily than the rest of the population of Betty Sneaky.
They also have
it's amazing. After the mosquito problem, everybody got malaria. The good, pretty girls, we killed them all off. I think who set this up was the big fat women of Russia. Said, we would like that maybe the pretty girls could see who the most tasty is with the mosquitoes. And then they get infected with some horrible blood disease, and then they're dead. And all there's left is fat women. There you go. That's what I think. We would never do that in Very Sneaky. That is not possible. Kill him. Kill him. He has found us out.
By
the way, it's a Russian woman I'm talking.
There is also a contest in that this is just an extra bonus called mosquito legs. It's where the thinness of a woman's legs is judged. And I would have crushed at that when I was in school.
Yeah. the thinness. You know, it's weird because you're in such good shape. Like
Now, but not then.
Yeah, but you have those legs where you're like bam, slam, and wham.
They were just, I was like all elbows and knees until high school.
You were a
Even
praying
into high
mantis
school, I was
till
a
you were
praying
about 18.
grasshopper was what
Yeah.
they call me.
Yeah, I was like,
Chirp, chirp,
but
chirp,
now
chirp, chirp, chirp.
You a big sandwich.
that's so weird. What else is in the news?
A man has been found naked in a hog barn, and he tells the police, "I just like pigs." Larry William Henry. He has 3 first names. Larry William Henry really likes
He has
pigs.
3 serial killer names, by the way.
So much that he's no longer allowed near them. They found him drunk and naked in a hog barn near Millersville, Pennsylvania. He told them, "I just like pigs." He's 64 years old. He also had just finished a 6-pack of Ham's beer during his pig party.
I like pigs.
He gets Ham's beer and he goes to hang out with pigs.
I like pigs. You know what I like most about them?
No.
Well, when that curly tail
Ew.
tickling your belly.
Ew. You know what's wrong with that? Don't laugh at him.
And I got feet. I don't know how I nailed fetus like that.
You know what's wrong with? Yeah, he had to picture that.
See, he likes how weird I am.
He's got the giggles.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was already banned from the property in 2011. He's been charged with indecent exposure because he exposed himself to the pigs, criminal trespass, defiant trespass, and public drunkenness. He's got to pay $25,000 bail. Apparently, he's made a habit of being naked around pigs.
I like pigs. That's all. 25,000 is cheap. Let's do this, Charlotte.
I know. That was a no. Well,
Oh, Charlotte.
she was the
That's
spider.
right, I remember. What the hell was it doing?
You idiot!
Yeah. Well, I'm busy working on
You
pigs.
tried to weave in literature.
Okay, everyone. Just to give you an update, literally. By the way, as I said it, I thought Charlotte's Web. Wait a minute, Charlotte's Web. That means the Charlotte was a spider. Shit. And then you saw my weakness and just plunged the samurai sword directly into my gullet. Thank you. And then giggled about it. You tried to weave in literature, you stupid idiot. You're an idiot. You're an asshole. God, what a stupid idiot. So stupid. Titus is stupid. Good jokes, but what an idiot. Don't ask him a question about any book learning. You could ask him a question about book learning, but he won't get the characters of the book right. He's an asshole. And she's laughing hysterically because that's what you think.
My favorite thing. It's not even what you.
The hell was in the pig's name?
It's not even what you think it is.
Charlotte 12 was a pig's name. No, I want to say Earl, but that ain't right.
It's not that. It's.
Pig. His name was Pig.
What's funny to me was more.
Oh, I know what's funny to you.
You know the pig's name. Everyone knows the pig's name. You know it.
You know what came in my head, though? You want to hear me make another horrible literary thing? What popped in my head? I know it's wrong.
Sling Blade.
Eeyore. I was going to say Eeyore, the pig, but Eeyore was a donkey, and he was stuffed.
Wilbur.
Wilbur, that's right.
Wilbur. Come on. Anyway, what really got me was not as a woman laughing at a man, but more as a comic laughing at a comic. It's that very awful moment that I know very well. You watched me have it in Dayton
I'd
this
like to
weekend.
make a reference that has no meaning at all.
It's where it's where you're in the middle of something and you can't abandon it because you've already committed to it.
Yeah.
And the look on your face and your nostrils flare. When you realize something's horribly wrong, your nostrils get huge.
Well, I knew you were laughing.
Oh, I did it on stage in Dayton and you howled with laughter.
I did. I stood in the back of the room. You did something. She did guys, you know what a callback is? Callback is basically you set up a joke early on in the set, and then you call it back later, 10 minutes later.
And
you
I
reference
closed
it.
on a callback that I had never set up. I had never done.
So I'm in the back of the room waiting to go on stage, and she finishes her show, and she can
I'm
boom,
like,
ba-dim,
ba-dow!
ba-doom! like this is gonna kill him. Crickets, and then I just burst out laughing in the back, and then I started heckling you.
I started laughing.
And then I started heckling you from the back of the room. That was fun. That was fun.
I had committed to it. I told you that on stage. I was like, I just decided I was going to lock down and I was just going to
Wilbur.
stare right back at these
It was
people.
Charlotte's Web, but not Wilbur's Web. You dumbass.
Wilbur.
Yeah, Charlotte was not a pig.
There's a killer barbecue place in North Carolina named Wilbur's Barbecue.
Perfect.
Right. Oh, this is not funny, but this is a Cosby update.
And I would like to tell everybody that we are about to do the Cosby update. You see, the people are going to understand that Cosby not only did not rape or roofie people, they was consensual to be roofied and then raped. And go ahead. Bye.
Now that the deposition is out,
Ooh.
we have found out that he was being prescribed or at least given Quaaludes by a doctor here in Hollywood.
Oh, no.
Right.
I hope that doctor's dead.
Leroy Amar, he's a Hollywood prescriber of pills. They used to call Quaaludes disco biscuits because they induce disorientation and euphoria for anyone that wasn't hanging out in the 70s.
Right.
Now that deposition has come to light, it's shown that Cosby says that he received 7 prescriptions for Quaaludes, all of which were obtained from that dude who's a gynecologist,
Oh, no.
ostensibly for a sore back.
That is...
So he went to a gynecologist, said he had a sore back, and had 7 different prescriptions of Quaaludes.
That sounds like... That's Elvis level. Oh, man, that ain't nothing, man. I did so many more Ludes and Cosby. I can't even tell, man. I like to get them girls a roofie and let them panty wrestle.
What was that?
Panty wrestle. You can put on them white cotton panties.
Ew.
Wrestle. Oh, yeah, baby. Look it up. Look it up, Elvis Presley and panty wrestling.
White cotton panties?
He used to have girls over his house getting white cotton panties and panty wrestle.
Stop saying it. All of your characters today are uber creepy.
No, not all of my characters.
He is too, unfortunately. Yeah, so no,
People will come out and say if I am creepy or not, you see.
So the guy is dead. The doctor is dead. Cosby did say in the deposition that the doctor knew that he wasn't taking them. So apparently he told a lot in this deposition.
Really? You think that the doctor was that insightful that he was giving a guy 7 prescriptions for Quaaludes and was aware that he wasn't taking them? Oh, that doctor.
Apparently he had a lot of run-ins with the law too.
You know, here's the thing, and I said this. This woman, Susan Bland. Is it Susan Bland? The black woman who basically got out of the way of the cop. Sandra Bland, sorry. Sandra Bland got out of the way of the cop. She did what we all do when a cop pulls in behind you. You pull over in the slow lane and pray to God that he's going to drive around you. That's what you do. So all she did was get out of the cop's way. He pulls her over. And by the way, go online, look up Sandra Bland and watch the video. It's insane. And then read the transcript of it. So this woman gets out for basically a blinker ticket. All the cop had to say was, I was trying to get over for you. Can I see your license? Sure. Okay, you're cool. Later on. Instead, she got mouthy with the cop, and it's in Texas, and the cop doesn't like it. Gets her out and says, quote, I'm going to light you up with the taser. Has the taser out for a blinker ticket. And then he takes her out, and he basically holds her down in the dirt and beats her ass, pretty much. She dies 3 days later in prison. That woman clicked her blinker on, ended up dead in prison. Cosby is the biggest and the longest serial rapist that we have ever had in this country, and he is walking the earth free. If that doesn't make you want to get a dog, people, so you can at least sit and watch TV.
It's what you said. It's not a race issue, obviously. It's an economic issue.
Yeah. I said that. I go, this just proves that there's no racism in the country. There is, what are we going to call it? Currencyism, moneyism, wealthism? There's wealthism. We definitely have wealthism in America. Wealthism is basically, if you got enough money, it doesn't matter if you're a rapper that's got 9 bullets hole in you. Like Suge Knight. How long is Suge Knight? Well, of course, Suge Knight goes to jail pretty frequently.
Not as forever, like most people when they kill people.
He's got
and run over them and then back over them and then go forward and then
he's got a penitentiary rewards card. He gets free internet. Suge Knight's been in prison so many times he gets free internet.
He did a tire tap dance on those last 2 dudes, and he's walking around. Our friend had lunch next to him.
Isn't he? I thought he's going to prison for real.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm afraid to look him up. I'm afraid to type his name in Google search. Yeah, that's how scary he is.
Eminem won't even say his name. It's great. I'll say it. Suge.
Oh.
But that video of him running those guys over, he flat out just ran them over. There's not even a question it was an accident. They're standing from the car yelling. He just goes and runs over the guys.
He backed up too.
Yeah.
By the way, I had a dream. I told you this was the weirdest dream. It was the most vivid dream. I had a dream that I saw Bill Cosby in the airport and he was sitting by himself, and I went over and I took his hand and I said, "God bless you." Now look, that's not something that I say. Have you ever heard me say God? Like, it's not.
And in the dream, did he go, "Would you like to have some Kool-Aid that I've made for you specifically because I saw you sitting over there with the fake boobs and the beautiful body and the perfect hair, and you got the thing and the lips with the puffy and the thing. And take the drink, glug, glug, drink it." Don't worry that I'm getting out of focus at this point. You see. I'm going to get rapey now. And I hope that your curly tail doesn't tickle my belly.
I can't take any more.
Welcome to Creepy Weird Voice.
By the way, I think we'll just close on this, and I just want to remind everyone to go to ChristopherTitus.com, get DVDs there. While you're there, you can click through on the Amazon link to go buy stuff. It'll keep the podcast going. Thanks to Harry's again for sponsoring the episode. Also, the video from the Armageddon update, this one's going to be available on Monday after the weekend. Yeah. But the video is even better because you have two puppies in the video with you.
You get to see our dogs in it. You'll see our dogs in it. They co-star.
And anyway, so do that. Also, if you want to talk to us, hit us up on Facebook, The Real Christopher Titus Podcast, or Bombshell Rae, or on the Twitter. Titus Nation.
Yeah, I would like to tell you.
Ray Bradley.
Go to @Titus Nation on Twitter. Please follow me, guys, and go to Ray Bradley. One more thing, guys. I want to give you guys a Special Unit update. People that listen to the show know about Special Unit, the movie. We have now got to a place where we have some people that are going to finance it. We're halfway done with that. So things are moving forward, slowly but moving forward. So hopefully we get the rest of it. No, sorry, not hopefully. We will get the rest of this and shoot it in February. So Special Unit's going to hit the big screen, people.
I just want to throw this out there. Titus Podcast page on Facebook. Roland Ryan, one of our listeners, just posted, "Trust me," this is a quote, "Trust me, there will be a day after the apocalypse when you will gladly eat fetus." And then he said, "Now that's some quote-worthy, no-context shit right there."
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I'm Christopher Titus. For myself, the Bombshell, and Fetus. Later.
Peace out.
See ya.
You know what? You were really good at being quiet today. I appreciate it. All your cockiness has waned. Good luck with this weekend on your board game with the Star Wars characters. It's so cute.